Hi, welcome to the All Chat Podcast. Hey everybody, welcome to the All Chat Podcast. We're the Odd Man Out. I'm Keefin.
I'm Ryan.
I'm Tanner.
And I'm Nick.
So today, we're here to talk about, first of all, what we've been playing. Nick.
As always. Oh, why am I going first?
I don't know.
Just foot forward.
Okay. Well, I have been continuously playing World of Warcraft as I have been for the past 2 weeks. And it's been a fun journey, leveling my Death Knight. Except that I got sick of it because I had 40 more levels to go to max level. So
He caved.
I caved.
Even though I
So
told
when
him
you
not to.
when you pre-order the next expansion, you get a character boost to max level. So I used it on my Death Knight. I caved. I couldn't deal with it.
I don't blame you. WoW can be boring.
Yeah, you would say that, since you
Yeah.
don't like the game.
Yeah.
But it's basically getting to max level is like more like the start of the game because WoW is like an end game content kind of game. Like leveling, yeah, it's part of the game, but you don't really get to do any of the
Fun stuff.
the fun content, like the current content until you get to max level. So they offer these boosts since there's so many freaking levels in World of Warcraft now. Next expansion, the level cap will be 120. Imagine starting at level 1 and having to get 119 levels.
Is that model sustainable?
I don't know.
I mean, how long has World of Warcraft been a thing?
15 years? 14
Seems
years.
pretty
Yeah, but-
sustainable.
Well, that model though.
No,
not
but
the
yeah,
game.
the leveling system has changed because before, like not even that long ago, it was way easy to level, and I got a couple characters to level 40, 45 like in a week, and a couple of them, not just one. I got a couple to level 45.
So one of them, you would have gone to 80. So there you go.
Probably not how that works exactly. But...
No. But I've just been playing a lot of that. I think I played something else this week, but I can't remember. It wasn't for very long, but...
Must have not been that fun then.
Oh no, I played Fortnite. Duh. I can't believe I completely spaced on
Not
that.
fun.
No, I played Fortnite on stream with some people from that gaming website.
Oh yeah,
we write
I actually
for.
watched you a little bit on that.
Nick,
Yeah.
you and your sleeves.
What? Oh. Right.
Just like last time.
Okay, I'm good now. I'm dressed now. We won't get demonetized now.
Yeah, all the monetization
For
that
lewd
we have.
behavior. No. We need the money.
Am I really that white? Oh my heck.
We don't get any money.
That's fair. But if you ever want to donate... Just kidding. No.
No, but
To that voice. Yes,
I
I
want
do.
to.
Anyways, so I played Fortnite on stream. So the Thanos mode on Fortnite, which we'll talk about later, is only solo.
Yeah.
And I'm like super mad about it because it sounds like it'd be way more fun in a group. But whatever. I ended up just doing squad mode with some other streamers that I'm friends with. And we didn't win any of our games because we're bad. But but we basically went to the I think it's called the Shifty Shafts, like the mines, and we basically mined the whole place. I get it in the mines. But like we mined all the wood and the metal and all that stone out. So the mines almost collapsed on us. Guys, I'm having.
He kept English today.
Do you need a break?
Before we started recording the podcast, you should have seen how bad it was. But anyways, we almost collapsed the mine on ourselves, so that was a fun time. But yeah, that's all I played this week was Fortnite World of Warcraft. I'm gonna stop talking before I forget how to speak English.
Okay. So as for me, I played a lot of Half-Life. It's my first time going through the game, and I'm anxious to just finish. And I feel like I'm always there at the end, and then there's more, and then there's more, and then there's more. But this time I really think so. But I've been there before. So I'm hoping to finish that.
Is that a good thing or a bad thing?
Well, I mean, I don't know. I think I'm ready to be done with it. I mean, it's fun, though. And I am excited to play Half-Life 2. But I've just been in it for so long that I'm like, okay,
So now you just
is
doing
it getting wrapped up? Yeah. Then I just played a little bit of Heroes of the Storm, trying to get up to... I'm in Silver 1, So close to gold. Just can't quite seem to break it. But that's been me.
So this week I played some Heroes, and I actually have I have a complaint with Blizzard on this. I was halfway into Gold 5. Like I was like in the middle. So I wasn't even close to my demotion game. I won the game previous, and then I lost a game, and then it demoted me to Silver 1. And so I'm back in Silver 1, and I can't get out.
Teammates, right?
Yes.
The classic.
Well,
Anyone that plays like any kind of MOBA will understand that that's the joke.
That it's never your fault. It's always...
Can't be.
Anyway, so I played some Heroes. I did play a little bit of Rocket League. And then I started playing some Skyrim again. Just because I got Skyrim Special Edition on my computer. Well, I guess I've had it, but until recently I didn't have a computer that could play it. And so I'm starting to play that, and that was it. I mean, Rocket League, not much to speak out. I guess I only play like 1 or 2 games a week, and by the time I get back to playing again, it's demoted me to bronze something, the highest in bronze, and I win one game, brings me back up to silver. So I keep on bouncing out of bronze and silver in Rocket League because I only play like 2 games a week.
All right.
So I actually played very little video games this week.
How?
Well,
I thought you were out of school.
I am. So what happens is I go through phases of what I really enjoy doing. So it'll switch off sometimes between watching YouTube, watching TV shows, movies, playing video games on PC or playing on Xbox, now Switch. So I kind of go through phases, and I still played some Zelda, and I beat one of the first Divine Beasts.
Nice.
I beat the water one.
Oh, the elephant.
Yeah, the elephant. And so I got Mipha's Grace and all that good stuff. And
The best one.
so that was fun. It was the boss at the end was very hard, actually. Like a pretty difficult boss, but fun and some good puzzles in it. So Zelda's still a good game. Don't really have any new updates with that other than it's still good and fun. But other than that, yeah, I just watched more TV and YouTube. Found that Cobra Kai was on YouTube. And I liked the Karate Kid, and I was like, this sounds dumb. And then I watched it. And
I've heard it's pretty good.
And it's actually really good. So I ended up like binging that. And I don't actually know what else. I mean, editing as well. So I've been editing a lot for the channel. So I don't really know what else takes up my time, because there's definitely some missing time somewhere in there.
Do you sleep?
Sometimes, but not very much. Not very well.
Do you give attention to your wife?
Yeah, and that too. I do have a wife, so that happens too.
Oh yeah, I just happen to have a wife, by the way.
So yeah, but yeah, I just haven't played a ton of video games besides what we've done together as a channel, and other than that, just really Zelda. That's pretty much all I've done. So pretty fast with games this time, but we are gonna move into. I did try Fortnite Mobile after we talked about it last week. Boy, was that awful. Boy, was that the worst thing I've ever done.
The controls?
I played one match, so, maybe not the best way to make an entire judgment about a game. But that's it. It's terrible. How do you control it? It's awful. Like, moving and hitting, when you're moving, like, to look and, like, move forward and stuff, hitting is right above that. So unless you're, like, going like this and, like, trying to use your entire hand, like, it just doesn't work. In my opinion. I'm sure other people are.
What if you had, like, 2 people that were in sync playing on, one person controls the
Let's try
guns.
it.
Let's try it.
Why
That'd be a
not?
good
Try it in
let's
the
play.
next video.
That'd be a good let's play.
We can, because I can just screen grab my phone.
Yeah.
There you go.
And, yeah, but I personally didn't like it. I also got PUBG Mobile. I haven't tried it yet. I was going to, and then I just didn't. And I did play some more Hearthstone, some mobile. But going into Fortnite, hence the reason I mentioned it and remembered it, is Thanos in Fortnite. Good
Wow.
idea or bad idea?
Good.
Great.
I think it's a good idea. I mainly just because I like crossovers. I like it when, different franchises, work together.
Yeah.
But I don't really play Fortnite, so I don't have too much to say about it. But
I think it's genius. The biggest game right now, plus the biggest movie right now,
yeah,
that just equals good.
I wonder
And they did it well. The thing is PUBG can never do it because that wouldn't make any sense. But Thanos fits in the cartoony world that they've created.
Yeah.
And what he can do makes sense within Fortnite where it wouldn't make sense in other games. So it's the perfect game to introduce it into. But along with Nick, I was very sad to learn that you have to play it solo. Because I was talking to Ryan at work, and I was like, dude, let's go play duos and see if we can get one of us to be Thanos. And that'd be awesome. And then he was like, it's only in singles. And I understand the reason for it.
Okay, what's the reason?
Sucks. Well, I think at least from
a practical standpoint.
From a practical standpoint, and this is without having read anything, and just from me thinking about it, it would be weird to have a teammate that's all of a sudden Thanos going around destroying everyone, and then you're just stuck as normal human. Like, I feel like the team dynamic would get a little bit destroyed, and also you might get pissed at your teammate if they took it and you didn't get it. So I feel like it wouldn't create good teamwork. Because one teammate would be the buff one doing everything, and the other teammate would just be like, hi.
My question is, how OP is Thanos?
Very OP. They actually already nerfed him. They brought down his health significantly, but I mean, he can fly in the air, he can bash down, he can break through walls, break
Shoots a
through buildings.
laser.
Okay,
just Thanos things.
So for the core reason of Fortnite Battle Royale, where basically everyone's on, they're supposed to be on a level playing field, then you introduce Thanos, it takes that level playing field just out of the equation.
I mean, everyone has the chance to get it, so it's like the meteor that struck in Fortnite. It has it's being excavated, and that's kind of where the gauntlet appears. And everyone knows when it appears. And also everyone can see Thanos, I think.
And then plus once whoever has it first, if they die, then the person who killed him can take it.
Or anyone.
Well, anyone can take it really, but generally it's the person that kills him.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's sort of fair.
And I mean, it's just a fun thing. And if you don't want to do it, you don't play single player, I guess.
Or you can still play regular solo too.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah. So
I mean, here's the question: just kind of like in Overwatch when they have different events, like the events are supposed to have certain characters, but that same event is also available, but with all characters, so you can choose. Why wouldn't they have like your regular battle royale normal game that people can do, knowing that there's not going to be a Thanos, but then a player versus player, but everyone knows there's going to be a Thanos.
I think that's what he does.
There is.
That's what it is.
You can just play normal. It's just a special mode. It's just a special game mode.
But you can't do it as a team?
No, not as a team.
Oh. That's okay. I thought
but you can still do the single player
without
regular.
I thought you were saying single player, like you're playing against bots.
No, sorry.
Okay.
It's
the
I mean,
Battle
there
Royale.
is, and to be fair, there is a co-op, or there's a single player versus computers.
AI.
But that's like the purchased game. But the main battle royale that everyone actually plays is single. Would be just you by yourself.
Well, that answers the question I asked earlier that now makes no sense.
Yeah.
So,
but moving on from that, I think Nick had a little bit more news about Nintendo.
The Nintendo Switch. Well, Nintendo has revealed their online system and all the features it's going to have coming this September of 2018. I don't know why I said of 2018 because I said this September. But
hey, you could have people
redundant.
from in 2019 watching back on this. You don't want to confuse them.
what's the world like in 2019? You should tell us. Leave a
Comment below.
Comment below. Wait, what's that? Nick is no longer on the podcast? Oh.
Cut.
Saw that coming. But no. So I'm actually going to pull out my phone to read it really quick because I don't remember every single feature and I want to get all the features right.
Is this what you were wanting, first of all?
Not exactly.
Does it cover some of it?
It covers some of it, but once I pull it up, oh my gosh, I can't type.
And I'm gonna be honest, so I do have Mario Kart, but I have yet to play it online. I've actually yet to use any online features with my Switch.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, yeah, it's cool that it's going to exist, and I'm sure there would be games that I really want that for, especially with people that have games like Splatoon and stuff. You need that. But for me, at least right now, it's not something that I'm like, yeah.
So I finally pulled it up on Nintendo's official website. So these are the features it has. I'll just read some of them, and then I will give you my opinion on them, and then we can talk about it. So online play, figures, battle it out or cooperate with players around the world in compatible games like Splatoon 2, ARMS, Mario Kart 8, Mario Tennis Aces, and Sushi Striker: The Way of Sushido.
Oh my gosh.
Wow.
So if,
What a mouthful.
Yeah, mouthful, sushi.
Boo.
So we should buy that game, Keith, and we should play that. Sushi Striker.
Not after that joke.
Yep. Totally want to.
But here's the feature that everyone likes about it. The Nintendo Entertainment System, Nintendo Switch Online, enjoyed 20 NES games with added online play for the first time ever, and more games added regularly.
Online play for NES games?
Yeah.
Like you can
Like
play
old
Super Mario Bros. Online. Someone
Yep.
else can be Luigi.
Probably.
Okay. Well, all right.
Okay. Do you have to buy them?
It's with the subscription of the online service. And then we have the Save Data Cloud Backup. Save your data online for easy access.
Oh my gosh! Thank heaven. Thank heaven.
Is it thank heaven though? You
Yes.
have to pay to get it.
Yeah, but that's like any
But literally every other console you had a free way to back up data. Now the only way to have
But
backup
at least they're giving you something.
data, but you're making me pay for it.
But $20 a year,
So not giving it to
It
you.
was free before.
except for it didn't have cloud.
It wasn't cloud, but it was still free.
Yeah.
And then we got the Nintendo Switch Online app, which everyone is not happy about. So this is where you have to do your voice chat and your all that crap through the phone app.
Oh yes, the
Oh,
super
that's
awesome.
weird.
So
system
they did
that
not
have.
ditch that. They are
Why?
keeping that.
Why?
Because they're idiots.
Yeah.
Wait, so you have to use your phone to be able to do the voice
With
chat.
like an odd connection thing. It's like a whole thing.
And then do you have to buy it too?
No.
Okay.
So you download the app and then you add your friends and then you have this special adapter that you have to plug into your phone and then into the Switch.
So you have to buy the adapter.
And then you have to...
So you have to buy something.
Yeah. So that's the Nintendo Switch Online system. I'm not happy, honestly. I mean, yes, it's only $20 a year. I know that's dirt cheap. But what am I even getting? I mean, yes, we're getting voice chat, but like we're not. Like who's going to use it? Nobody's going to use it.
Like you might as well use Discord on your phone.
Yeah, you may
Or
as
a
well.
phone call.
Or or a phone call.
Oh yeah, the phones can
Yeah,
do
that
that.
exists. Yeah.
It's like
Phones
we're
do.
paying for online to access these games online because right now it's free, but we're going to be paying to be able to play multiplayer games. So I'm not getting.
But
any
here's
features.
the thing: they can make it better because of that. So I don't know if you know, but
Will they?
yeah, I mean, so PlayStation used to be really cheap, and then they upped the price, and then it's become better. It's you have to spend money to have more servers. Servers cost money to run, so for them to increase the servers amount so that people have better, less laggy experiences online, and then to have the backup that even exists, they have to be able to pay for those servers as well. And the fact that at least you don't lose everything, that's a good thing. Maybe they should have made a way to do it, but they didn't. There's nothing that exists, so at least you don't lose all your gameplay that you did of 120 hours on Breath of the Wild, and now it's at least you can save it, and if you have to get a new Switch because it breaks, you're good.
If I pay $20 a year, yes.
Right, but that's still not that much.
You spend more than that at Genya.
I do.
What?
Actually, no, I don't.
No, I do.
Is this some like?
It's a Japanese restaurant that we go to.
Sort of
So
some
I
type
do
of,
agree
like,
with you.
form system.
Like, they best be making it good. Like,
Yeah.
it best be working well, or people are going to be pissed to pay for
Yeah.
exactly what they had before. But then they are throwing you those, super old games.
No, yeah, that part's fine. It's just we don't have a party system still. We don't have voice chat. We don't have text chat. We don't have literally any features still. An online experience is going to be exactly the same, but we have to pay for it.
Unless it's less laggy.
I don't really think it's laggy now, to be honest. But
That's fair.
so that's my problem is I'm paying for nothing, and I shouldn't have to pay for cloud saves. I think it's stupid. Or give us a way to back up saves locally, like on a flash drive, because you could do that for literally like every other Nintendo console for from the past 10 years. There's a way to back up your
memory
saves.
cards.
So that's my problems with it. But here's my question to you, Keithan. Why is it free on PC and it works fine?
Yeah, but that's every console person's argument. Is it's not the same thing. You pay for internet, and that's just what you get for PC. You
But
pay for internet, and then you pay for subscriptions on.
Yeah, you pay for two things.
Yeah,
But
And you
PC
do.
has cloud saves, local saves, not laggy servers, all of the above.
well, that's not always true. Though it depends on the game.
Depends on the game.
That is the benefit you get when it's on a console. I mean, it does depend on the developer as well, but you get a little more backing usually from, especially if it's a first-party title, you get a little more backing from the actual, like, Nintendo,
the developer,
or
like
Xbox
Nintendo.
or PlayStation, as opposed to just like the developer having to make sure that it stays up. Because the moment in PC that the developer's like, we're done, you're done. There's nothing else. It doesn't exist anymore. It's offline. It's gone forever. So that is one benefit to being on console. But you're right. PC has that benefit. And console people will always wonder why, and there's no good answer.
There isn't. See, I'm glad that like Xbox offers like the games with gold and stuff, because I wouldn't just pay strictly just to play online. I'd want more from my subscription, you know?
Yeah.
So
And they give you discounts on games all the time, too.
yeah. So I'm glad they do more.
I can get discounts on Steam.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you can.
Steam sales are so good.
Yeah.
But also, Steam
I bought a
kinda
ton of
sucks,
And
let's
then-
be honest.
but then you
I bought
also
a ton
never
of Star
buy-
Wars games with that.
But also, Steam has the most crap on
Yeah,
it.
it's got.
That is
it's
so
got,
uncurated
It does.
that it's terrible.
It's hard to.
So you
filter
do.
through
It does have tons of benefits, but it's also full of the worst crap that you don't see elsewhere.
Go
So
on
you
the-
get the good with the bad,
Welcome
Go on
to
the
the
Switch
internet.
eShop. Go on the Switch's eShop.
but
You'll
not
find a
compared
ton
to
of
Steam.
crap.
Not compared.
I
to
don't
Steam.
know. I've browsed to the Switch's eShop. It's not pretty.
I can promise you, Steam has way worse crap because people, and they're trying to get better at it.
Has
But
games like
it's-
Doki Doki.
Hey, Doki Doki is not trash.
No, it's not. I liked it. I liked it more than you did, actually.
Yes, you did.
But moving on from that news, but I think it is important, and maybe they'll release more. Maybe we'll see.
I
better
hope so,
things.
because right now I'm not sold on it. So
But moving on from that, and speaking of crap games, that's a terrible transition.
how was that? what in the world?
I was gonna say.
Where were you gonna go with
I wasn't
that?
going anywhere with that. It's terrible. We're going to our main topic. We're going to be talking about indie games versus AAA games. So generally smaller budget games.
Speaking of crap games,
Yeah, I had nowhere to go with that. Versus the generally,
bigger.
huge backing with tons of people and a lot more money put into them AAA games. So what we want to go over is what do we prefer? Defining them, I guess. We could also go into like what games kind of meet that criteria, and some may fall in between. But I think for the general part, they fall into those two categories. So we're going to go into like what we prefer, what's good about each, and what we'd like them to learn from each other. Because there are definitely things that each of them do well comparatively to the other, and things that we might want each of them to learn from each other. But first, let's start out with defining a little bit more of what is an indie game versus a AAA game. So, what are your guys' opinions? What would, if you were to name a AAA game right now, what would you say?
Overwatch.
Yeah. Like Red Dead
Call of
Redemption
Duty.
2, which is coming out, Call of Duty, Titanfall,
Breath of the
Battlefield.
Wild.
So those are huge AAA indie titles. We got stuff like
Five
Doki
Nights,
Doki,
Doki Doki, Five Nights.
Stardew Valley.
Stardew Valley, which is hugely popular.
Yeah, Five
Gang
Nights at
Beasts.
Freddy's.
Gang
Gang
Beasts.
Beasts, and then
Yeah.
there's a Bendy and the Ink Machine.
Yeah, so those are like, we can definitely tell.
Cuphead is indie.
Cuphead is indie.
Yeah.
I'd say it's indie.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
So you can definitely see there is a distinct difference. It's pretty easy to say if someone says indie, you can kind of mention it. What do you guys prefer?
Well, man, that's a hard question.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think you'll find many people that are like, oh, I only prefer this and I will never play any of the other stuff. You'll get snobs. Maybe you'll get snobs.
I think you'll be surprised.
Perhaps, but those people, I think they're doing it just because they're being snobbish, not because they
that's fair.
wouldn't actually like an indie game or vice versa. I think they're just being hard-nosed about it. They want to be different, whatever the case is. Because
Hipsters.
Sure. Because there really are great, well-developed games in both, and terrible, crappy games in both as well. And so it's hard to lump them and say, oh, this is better than that, because there's a lot of, mixing between, the two of this has good games and this one has good games. So I don't know. That's a hard question. Do I prefer one or the other?
What do you own more of?
Well,
would
since
say
I buy
AAA.
a lot more on Steam, I don't know. Sometimes I do.
Or what do you play more? Because I own a ton of crap on Steam that I've never played.
I play AAA.
I guess so,
now.
yeah. I guess so. I would say I play more.
Well, I think that's the point of it, isn't it? Like most people are going to have more AAA games than indie games.
I don't know if that's true anymore,
isn't that
though.
I guess that. Oh yeah, but just the nature of the
Starting to get there.
Just the nature of it, because.
So you say for sure AAA for you?
That I play more of?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, me too.
I would say 60-40 for me. Like 60.
I would say I
60
definitely play more AAA.
60 AAA and then 40 indie, because like I get most of the indie games from Steam. Like Tattletale, that's another one. Like I like playing all these indie horror games. I just love them because the mechanics are different every time. Like yeah, you can see inspirations in Tattletale, like from Five Nights at Freddy's, or like I think Five Nights at Freddy's is kind of like the godfather of the indie horror game right now, because a lot of the games that came after it kind of have some
Similar concepts.
Similar concepts.
What was that game where you're like a pizza delivery dude and you go to a house and there's like the creepy dolls that come out and they each have like a different gimmick? Because that sounds like a game that you would
I don't know, but I kind of
want
want to play that game now.
So it's like one doll like you can't move, one doll you have to look at it, one doll you have to make sure the lights are on.
Yeah,
This sounds like a good Let's Play.
So like each of the dolls does like a different thing, and if they'll jump scare you just like Five Nights at Freddy's, like goes up to your screen just like it.
See,
That's a perfect game for you.
That's another thing. Like I like the indie games because their mechanics are always different than AAA games. The thing with AAA games is that they have a formula that works, and they just rinse and repeat.
So
like,
you would say in some ways you prefer indie.
In some ways, yeah.
So you can use the different one. I knew he would be. Hence the reason I wanted this topic, because I knew someone would be very indie.
Okay, two things on that I want to say. First of all, when we ask like which ones do we play more, think about how many indie games aren't developed to make you play for months and months and months and months.
Yeah.
Like games like Overwatch or Star Wars Battlefront or League of Legends, you're really meant to play for years. Five Nights at Freddy's, you're not.
But if you don't enjoy playing those AAA as much and you like the indies, you're probably going to buy a lot more indies and keep playing those types, because there's a million indies.
Yeah, honestly,
they're
bought
usually
lot
cheaper.
More. Lately, I've bought more indie games than AAA.
Yeah, but
games.
League of Legends is free. Heroes of the Storm is free,
Yeah.
and I'm going to be playing it for years. Hopefully, I want to. And so I think the independent games don't. First of all, they're not going after that. For one, maybe because they don't have enough production value, and I'm not sure they want to either. Because when I think of indie games, I think they can be compared to indie movies, where oftentimes a director is making this movie not because he knows it's going to be the best-selling movie of all time, but because he wants to put in his creative talent into what he likes. And I see that a lot with indie games, and I don't see these indie developers saying, I want people to be playing this game for years and years and years so I can make the money. I often see them saying, I want to make this game because I think it's cool and everyone else will think it's cool as well. Whether the masses enjoy it or not, that's usually not the case. Usually indie games have a cult following, but not a mass following.
It's very well summed up.
Yeah, we can just end there.
That's fair. I was going to say, so what's good about each? Because I would say one thing that's obviously going to be good about indie games is they are going to hit that cheaper price point.
Yeah, that's what I love about them too. Like they're good games and they're cheap. Tattletale was $5.
Yeah.
Like, with the whole Bending the Ink Machine, they're releasing it in chapters, and so it's coming out to be the price of a regular game. But I guess not really, even because there's 4, and I've spent $20 on Bendy because it's $5 per chapter. And the storyline and game mechanics and everything I love them. But yeah, they're generally cheaper, which is partly why I do it, because I usually it's hard for me to kind of dish out $60 for a new game. Like most of the games I have right now, honestly, are because of my friend Jonah, who's doing Xbox Share with me. Yeah, Jonah, I guess these two.
Most of the games I have are because of you.
Yeah.
So
Steam Share?
Steam Share.
Yeah.
So yeah, I do Steam Share with Tanner, and then Jonah does Xbox Share with me. And so like games like both of the Battlefronts. Actually, I bought Battlefront 1 by myself, but he had Battlefront 2. He has like all these other games that I wouldn't play if it wasn't for him because I can't justify usually a $60 purchase on a game that I know I'm probably going to play for 2 weeks and then go right back to Heroes.
Yeah.
That's fair. But I'd say that's one benefit of indies is they are cheaper.
Yeah.
And they usually do hit that, kind of like you said, like a specific like mechanic. That's something different. They do try to go a lot more unique, I would say, most of the time. Because they don't have that huge budget behind them where if it fails, a whole studio closes.
Yeah.
But I would say on the other hand, AAA are usually going to be prettier, more polished, and they're going to have longer lasting gameplay. Like you're going to be able to play it for a significant amount of time compared to an
I
indie.
mean, that's obvious though. But AAA games have millions of dollars behind them to back them up. Like indie games, some people make them in their basement for free on their 5-year-old computer. Like, I mean,
But I mean that doesn't mean that some
dev.
don't fail though.
I mean, I'm not saying they're gonna fail, but I don't. You're saying what can indie games do better that AAA games do better than indie games, but like I don't know if that's exactly fair because maybe an indie developer wanted to do something, but they didn't have the money to get the programmers
Right, but that's
to
the
do
point.
it.
That's what's good about AAA is that it does have that.
It does. Yeah.
It's not that that person didn't want it, because a lot of times I would say probably indie developers are even more, they really are inspired to create something great because they love it. They love what they're doing. And a lot of times the corporate people behind AAA, and I'm not saying all the developers or all the programmers, a lot of them do feel that. But a lot of times the corporate people behind that, it gets lost because of them because they just want the money. But a lot of indie developers, it's just, that's their passion. It's what they love. And so they're putting real love into it. So you're getting like an amazing product in that aspect. You're getting something that was really put in a lot of love into compared to a corporate machine money generator.
And generally a better storyline too. Like the storyline behind Bendy, I'm loving it. Like the storyline, I mean, I know we talked about this kind of before with Five Nights at Freddy's. Like it doesn't have like, I guess a straightforward storyline. Like there's a lot of lore that you have to kind of dig for. But once you get into that lore, it's I love it.
It's fascinating.
See, that's where I would have to disagree with you. I don't tend to love indie storylines.
No,
In fact, I feel like most of the time they lack.
Really?
Mm-hmm. I rarely like indie storylines.
Have you looked into the lore of FNAF?
But I don't want to look into the lore of a game. I want the game to give me the story. That's what I'm saying, a story. Don't give me lore. Give me a story.
Okay.
So for me, that's what I want. Like League, like, doesn't have a story, but I'm also playing a multiplayer game, not a campaign.
Yeah.
When I'm playing a campaign, and I have the first Five Nights at Freddy's.
So do you not care about
I did purchase the first Five Nights at Freddy's.
Do you not care about the lore in League then?
I mean, to an extent, I'd still wish they would do some kind of story mode at some point, because I would like to learn about it in their actual cities. I don't put enough effort into, like, really read a lot about it. I've read some of their character descriptions, and I don't usually go too far past that. I don't read people's, like, fan fictions. I don't read what, like, more people put into it, because
fan fiction doesn't count as lore.
It can, though. Sometimes it becomes lore.
Sometimes.
But my point is, like,
the point is
to me that
you're
doesn't
not
matter.
digging. You're not digging.
To me, like, give me the story.
Like Breath of the Wild.
Yeah, I mean, there are parts where
it kind of gives you the story. You kind of have to look for it.
Okay.
Sometimes.
But you do create the story as you play, and
In a sense.
you can find the story as you play. You don't have to go on outside sources.
No.
How much into like Final Fantasy or Kingdom Hearts have you been? Because
I've never played either of those games.
They have great storylines and they give you the story. You don't have to dig for it. And so what you're describing makes it sound like you'd love Final Fantasy.
Well, I don't like take-turn games, though.
Well, yeah.
Turn-based games?
Yes.
Kingdom Hearts isn't.
That's fair. I just never had any place to play it.
All right. You can come to my house.
Remember, I grew up without consoles until the Xbox 360, so...
Well, when
snap.
they release Kingdom Hearts 3 on Xbox, I mean, do you think they might release Kingdom Hearts 1 and 2 as well?
They've released all their different Kingdom Hearts games like many different times, like remastered and then on this platform, and they're really sucking it for everything it's worth. And so yes, I think they will, but not when Kingdom Hearts 3 comes out. I mean,
maybe a little before.
Yeah, but that would be my thing. It's just like, I'm not looking for an indie game to have a good storyline. That's, to me, I feel like I've found better ones through AAAs. I don't go to an indie game for that. Okay. I'm not saying indie games aren't good. And I'm not saying that they don't have decent storylines sometimes.
Stardew Valley has a good one, I think.
And Stardew Valley is people's... But that doesn't have... It's not a game with direction, but
Not
people
really,
love it.
but
But
it
neither is
gives you
Minecraft.
Yeah.
And that's a huge game, and I like Minecraft. So I'm not saying anything in Stardew. People love Stardew. That's an indie game that went huge.
It did go very big.
And they're even going to release multiplayer for it.
They have, yeah.
Yeah, it's in beta right now. I
They
think.
should release multiplayer for Doki Doki. What would that even look like?
I would play that.
I would play it too.
I would very much play
But see, that's the thing is like a lot of these indie developers probably want more,
But
and
they
then
don't
they
have the
can't
money.
until they get that funding. And then we see that with Stardew Valley is hey, they have it, and all of a sudden they can add in more. But I would say that's like the big benefit to getting a AAA is I don't have all that time all the time. So for me, it's fun to go into a game that I know is well polished, that's going to be fun, that I can have a fun multiplayer or campaign that's going to be good to go. And not all the campaigns for AAA are good. I'm the first to
No,
admit that a
they're
lot of them
not.
suck. And a lot of the stories are awful, but sometimes you find those ones that are amazing.
Mm-hmm.
And so to me, it's easier for me to spend $60 on a game that I'm going to have a lot of fun with for a long time, and I know is going to work well, than an indie game. And I still have a lot of indies, but just not compared.
Yeah.
So to me, that's what my opinion.
I think
would
it's
be better.
ingenious how some of the indie games go about marketing their games too. Like Doki Doki, that was completely free, and like it was for the whole game. I'm guessing. From what I've heard, it's a marketing attempt for their
For the next game?
For the next game that they're.
That's
gonna
what I
be
was going
coming
to
out.
say.
And they came out with the game for free, as pretty much as an advertisement for their next game, and that's ingenious. Or games like Five Nights at Freddy's, where initially probably no one had heard about it. Someone like some gamer on YouTube probably just came across it on the Steam, the Steam
Store.
Steam
Where
store,
you buy things.
On
where you buy
Steam.
things on Steam, and
The cloud.
they got scared and they're like, oh, this would be a great idea to video, and then everyone else sees it and they're like, oh, cool, I want to play this too. And so like the games don't really have to do that much marketing themselves or campaigning. They can just count on the community to pass it along. I mean, Five Nights at Freddy's, I saw the first time I saw it was from Markiplier.
Yeah.
And
I saw it from Achievement Hunter.
Bendy and the Ink Machine. I don't think that I saw Markiplier play it, but I'm pretty sure it was Game Theory that
Introduced you.
introduced me to Bendy. But it's like the online community that's passing on, that's doing the marketing for these people because they don't have the budget for it.
Some of these YouTubers do get sponsor deals from these games to say, hey, can you play this? Make it a
They have to
let's play.
disclose that though.
Yeah. And they do sometimes. Like
Well, they have
Markiplier.
to.
Well, yeah, they
Well,
do
I'm sure
have
they do.
to.
I'm sure Markiplier does now, but I think probably initially I'm not sure if they would have.
There was one of the games, I'm not sure if it was FNAF, but he did say, hey, I got this game for free or early so that I could market it and play it.
Also, I don't know if you guys have noticed, but a lot of indie games tend to make their game for Twitch or for streaming or for Let's Plays, and they integrate things into them to make it better. Like iDarb. Like, it has a huge thing where people can tweet at it in your game and make changes. Like, it can start filling up with water, or we'll add 2 balls. And I forgot we totally could have played around with that in our Let's Play that's never going to come out because it broke. But, yeah, you can tweet it and make, like, random crap happen in that game where it completely changes, like, how the game's going and can, like... And people could do that while watching someone streaming it.
And this is an indie game, right?
Yeah, iDarb's definitely an indie game. And there's a lot of indie games that have done that, which I think is cool and bad. Because I think sometimes they make it so that the game is purely like kind of crappy, but it works well for video so that they get a lot of press. But I think sometimes they do add in those things and it actually makes a better game.
Okay. That is... I like that creativity that you see in indie games. AAA games, yes, there's plenty of creativity. You couldn't have a good game without it. But... Not to go back to this, but I want to emphasize Doki Doki. The fact that you could
love that game.
It's fascinating in how you can play it. It's not just a virtual novel. Yeah, exactly. Well, when you go in and you have to and you make the different scenarios happen depending on who you delete from the game files. What AAA game was going to think of? Oh, let's encourage our players to go into the game files and make these changes that can change the game. That type of creative thinking is what I love to see in indie games. and you don't get that type of creativity in AAA games. Even if it isn't, even if I'm not going to be playing Doki for months, I only literally played it for 2 weeks. I appreciate that creativity so much that I can't help but give it mad props.
Oh, yeah,
Emily wants to play. That's the game that you should play. The horror
Emily
game.
wants to play.
Emily wants to play.
Does my wife Emily wants to play?
Yep.
Okay, well
No, but yeah, that's with the Doki Doki thing. I mean, plus they have hidden files within the files.
Yeah.
That where there's even more lore that led to the discovery of the fact that Team Salvato is making a new game, because it's they hid the fact that they were going to make a new game until someone who apparently
I was blown away by that.
A ton of time. I mean, I wouldn't have even thought. I had to look up because once I got stuck at that part with Monica, at the end I'm like, oh, crap, what do I do now? Did I beat the game? And then I saw someone else do it. I'm like, I never even would have thought to go into the game files because none other game has done that before.
Yeah.
We're not sponsored.
Crazy.
We're not sponsored by Team Salvato, just FYI.
But we can be. As we all smile.
Give us all the money you made from your free game.
Didn't they have an expansion that you could purchase?
No, they had
It was wallpapers and stuff. Is what it was.
Okay, so it's kind of all right. So it's kind of the same,
which is also where they hid some of their lore. Was in the.
That's true. So people had to go buy it.
There you go.
I mean, they still made money. It was so popular that enough people bought that.
Yeah.
And that's how free games. I mean, League of Legends makes millions and millions of dollars, and it's a free game.
Overpriced skins.
Yeah, but they do it, and I'm happy.
You don't need them.
And I'm happy they do it because
I do.
That's fair.
Anyway,
You're I need the skins.
I need this one.
No, I agree. I've done that the same.
Yeah.
Bad Santa Vigar, I'm like, come back.
I needed the Nova skin.
As soon as it was there, I was like, done.
Project Ash.
I did. I needed the Nova skin in Overwatch. It was just necessary.
Yeah.
I didn't buy it though.
But you don't technically need them to play the game.
No.
I have wondered
You
actually.
just need them to be happy.
Shift. Okay, I'm sorry. I'm going to shift a little bit of the conversation just because I'm so curious about this. In games like League of Legends, where you can buy different skins and you can make the different characters, you can make them look different. Do you think that helps with people who are less seasoned, less familiar with the characters and the different skins? Say I don't know who that person is, right off the bat, and it just kind of can trip them up a little bit. Do you think there's an advantage to having obscure skins in that sense?
I don't know. What do you think, Nick?
I don't know what he's asking.
Do you think a new person would see an Ashe and they'd be like, okay, I played this against this person before, and then next game they'd play against a Project Ashe and they'd be like, I don't know that I've seen that person before. Who is that?
Oh, they don't know it's the same character.
Would that be an advantage? I don't know that.
I mean, for maybe 2 seconds.
I mean, if they have the wherewithal to just be like, oh, that's who that is, and let me reconfigure my mental, positioning on this. I'm just saying.
I've never thought about it. I don't think so.
It's never affected me.
No.
It's affected me, let me just say.
That's where this is coming from.
No, I mean, it's true. It's for a second, I'm like, oh, I don't know who that is. And then I do learn, just half a second later. But it does trip me up at least a little bit.
That would be more prevalent in MOBAs like League or Heroes. I don't think that would be as big of a problem in Overwatch.
I'm talking about League and, just League, actually. I haven't had that problem in Heroes. But it's just a thought I had, and I'm wondering if it has any validity at all.
Who knows? I'll have to think about it, I guess.
I won't.
Don't hurt yourself.
Statistic, 1 out of every 4.
I was gonna say though. So at the end though, what would we like AAA games to learn from indies, and what would we like indies to learn from AAA games?
I would say what I want AAA games to learn from indies is
passion.
Well, maybe. I mean, yes, to an extent, but it's hard when you have hundreds of people working on a game to all have the same passion, because they're just not going to, and it's going to manifest. I want to say, be brave, think outside of the box, don't be afraid to, get super crazy with different concepts. I understand that it's a risk.
Nintendo level.
Yeah.
Oh, Nintendo Labo. I'm like, what did he say?
It is a huge risk for a big, developer company to take. But if you can manage it, you'll have, if you can have that same creativity plus the financial backing, your games are going to be amazing.
Are you, Nick? Anything?
Well, Breath of the Wild, there was the ability to climb on basically anything. You can climb literally everything.
People?
In the game. Maybe. I haven't tried that.
Try it when you go home tonight.
I don't think you can. But
there would be a need.
Yeah.
But
basically every surface besides flesh.
Or some of those, like, there's certain surfaces that you can't really climb.
Okay, the point is you can climb on 90% of things in Breath of the Wild.
And it's awesome.
And it's amazing. And it's not really been, I don't know, it probably hasn't really been done in any other game. Because every other game is like
a Spider-Man, maybe.
I
don't know. Because it's Spider-Man.
That's
Or in
Spider-Man.
Skyrim,
I was
where
gonna
you just
say-
glitch your way up the mountain.
Yeah,
but that's a glitch.
Assassin's Creed, you can climb literally almost anything.
It's
what the
different.
game tells you to climb.
No, I climb everything in Assassin's Creed. It's like,
I guess
building,
you do
I'm climbing
climb a
it.
lot, but
Yes.
it does feel different in Breath of the Wild because you look out to like any
Yeah,
part,
plus
you
you're-
can glide over,
you're
then you
doing
can climb up
parkour.
random stuff.
It's like you're doing parkour in Assassin's Creed 2. You're not staying the same place for.
And you
longer
have
than
to
a
think
second.
about your climbing in this game because you only have so much stamina, and so if you're running out, you're screwed. In Assassin's Creed, there is no such thing. as
Yeah, you
stamina.
just go up forever. You never have to stop.
But yeah, the creativity, like the Breath of the Wild climbing, stuff like that. That's what AAA games need to do. No more of this copy-paste stuff. I think a revolution might happen in gaming soon. And I always bring up the Nintendo Switch every single
What side
podcast.
are you on?
But I think the Nintendo Switch is going to be part of that revolution. I think indie games are becoming a lot more popular by the day. And because a lot of people are getting fed up with the loot box garbage that's happening in AAA games.
Yeah.
And people are like, you know what? Indie games aren't doing that, so I'm going to go play some really good indie games. And the Nintendo Switch has been a great product because you can take all these indie games on the go. And, a lot of indie games have sold very well. In fact, Stardew Valley has sold incredibly well. Stardew Valley has been in the top-selling Switch game since it released like 6 months ago.
And that's why it's on every console.
Yeah, because it's such a good game. And so I think indie games are eventually going to they're not going to be the trash anymore. They're going to be what everyone's playing. I mean, Doki Doki, Five Nights at Freddy's. It happened before the Switch. It happened even before loot boxes became a big deal. I think I'm going to be buying less AAA games soon. I mean, the Switch is going to have a couple good games coming out, like Metroid Prime 4, the Pokemon RPG and Super Smash, but I don't know. I'm kind of leaning towards Team Indie now, simply because I'm just getting tired of all this crap happening in AAA games.
All the greedy
Stuff because
But you see that, but then you also see games like Titanfall 2 where it has that great switching back and forth, going to the past and the future to solve puzzles in it.
It was a good
along
game.
with the Titans, and it had changes in it that were risky to an extent.
Yeah. But they didn't pile on the loot box garbage in it.
No, they didn't, and they gave you all the DLC for free too.
Exactly. That's the difference. Because all these AAA games now are just trying to sell you the DLC. There's no passion in them anymore.
Yeah. So it's something I would say, and I'm gonna switch it around because everyone's been saying what they want AAA to learn from indie. So I'm gonna go devil's advocate and say what I want indie to learn from AAA. I want indies to learn that they can write a story, and it's okay to put it in the game. Do it. It's okay. You can nudge along. Take a little bit of extra time, a little more polish, and put a story in your game. I think that would be nice. So that I could play the game, get the story, and not have to search on the internet for hours. And I get the love for that, and it can be cool. But I also like it when I can play a game and learn the story that way. Because most of the games that I've had awesome stories with have been AAA that have the story in them, like a BioShock, like a Sunset Overdrive, like a Titanfall 2, those kind of games. The stories in them, they're awesome. They are AAA, so they have that time, and they have good writers. But take a little time. Maybe find a fan for the second Five Nights at Freddy's. Let's pretend only the first one just came out. Find a fan that's a good writer who would help you write for it, because I'm sure that someone would have done it, and I'm sure people wrote like great stuff for it. So I would say take that extra little step to put that little more polish into your game and add that story into it, and I think that would be awesome.
You know there were FNAF books, right? Written by the creator.
Yeah, but you get to put it in the freaking book.
I know,
Put
exactly.
it in the game.
I know.
Like, if he can write it, put it in.
I think we would like Bendy more than like Five Nights, because like Bendy does have more. It has story in the game,
Right.
But like there's story, and then there's also lore that you kind of have to dig for.
And I do know that indie games have story, and some of them do put it in the game. That's not my argument. I know.
Not
all
like,
of them
I think
do.
you would like Bendy a little more than some
That's
of these
fair.
other ones, because the story is more in your face than it is in Five Nights, where, and if you just played through the games, you wouldn't really suspect any kind of story other than just what the phone guy says. Like, that's the most story you get.
Yeah.
Like up front. But so yeah, I think that some people are starting to take note of that, like the creators of Bendy. But I do get the not wanting to have to dig for your story.
I'd say that's pretty much it for our main topic today. So what is going to be new for our channel that we're going to be doing a little bit different this week? Because we have a couple different things that are going to be coming out soon.
We have a League of Legends Let's Play.
That was recorded us not together.
Yeah, not together.
We played in the same game.
Yeah, we have face cam, and we put it all together, and I really enjoyed it. So I hope we do it some more.
And what else we have? We have a Let's Play in Halo, where we're doing our nostalgia put to the test for the first time. We're gonna actually release a video there, and
the Xbox Gold.
And we're doing Ryan and I, since we both are the only Xbox owners right now, we're doing a thing where we play the Xbox games with gold for the month. And we'll cut this part out. Maybe. Oh, no,
Definitely
it has to stay
no,
in.
it does.
But yeah, so
anymore.
we're reviewing games with gold. The game, so we're going to... We did the first two games the first half of the month, and then we're going to do the big one that releases midway through. And basically giving our thoughts on how good the games are, and if we think that would be worth getting
And
a
if we think that
subscription
Xbox Gold is worth it.
for, like, if you were just to buy it for that alone. So that's going to be a little bit different this week, and I think, is that...
That should be everything, I think.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
I think that's it. Thank you guys for watching. And
See you next time.
This has been the All Chat Gaming Podcast. We are the odd men out.
Bye.
Bye-bye.